Friends, our government is out of control. It's become too big, too burdensome. It's spending too much, it's taxing too much, it's regulating too much, it's borrowing too much, it's sticking its ugly nose in your business and our business too much, and it must stop. And in fact, both parties are guilty. When I was sworn into the U.S. Marine Corps, when I was sworn into Congress, I swore to uphold the Constitution against enemies, both foreign and domestic. Out of control spending and out of control government have become our nation's enemy. I will not rest until we defeat those enemies. In fact, Admiral Mike Mullen, when he was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said that the greatest security threat we face as a nation is our national debt. And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And that national debt has been created by a government that is out of control. Both parties are guilty of doing that. Since I was elected to the U.S. Congress and serving the 10th Congressional District, I promised them and I promise you that I will continue to vote the way I have been for the last 6 years. There are 4 questions I ask about all legislation. All 4 questions have to be yes. The first, is it constitutional? Is it constitutional according to the original intent of our founding fathers, of limited government and enumerated powers? Second, is it right? Does it fit the Judeo-Christian biblical principles that our nation was founded upon? Third, do we need it? Fourth, can we afford it? And I'll pledge to you, when you elect me your U.S. Senator, that's exactly how I'll vote as your U.S. Senator. And since I've been voting that way, the Club for Growth recently rated me of the entire U.S. House of Representatives as the #1 defender of economic freedom. Heritage Action recently rated the U.S. House of Representatives. There are 29 of us that were rated as conservative sentinels. I'm the only candidate in this race in those 29. I'm in the high end of that. Now let me tell you what I vote for. Under the Constitution, a strong national defense should be our major function. In fact, we are only given 18 things in Article 1, Section 8, that we in Congress have the authority to vote for. If it's not in those 18 things, I will vote no. But one thing I can vote for, the major function of the federal government under the Constitution is a strong national defense. Strong national defense has been a bedrock policy for the Republican Party, and it must not change. But we've had 4 presidents who have degraded our defense capability. And I know, I'm a Marine. 3 years ago, I got back into the U.S. Navy Reserve because I am a Marine. And last year, I was deployed to Afghanistan in uniform, taking care of sick Marines and soldiers. We must have a strong national defense. We're not putting the money into national defense that we should. In fact, just recently, we saw that one of the 3 units that is in charge of our missile defense that delivers the nuclear weapons failed in its readiness and its safety. And it was the second out of the 3. This president ought to be ashamed of himself to allow that to happen. I have spent more time trying to cut the spending of this federal government, and I have introduced more targeted spending cuts, more pieces of legislation to cut spending than any other member of Congress. Now let me give you a couple of examples of things I propose that we cut. Right now today, the U.S. Department of Education is spending almost $70 billion of your hard-earned money. The average salary of those fat cat bureaucrats that have never taught a child to read is over $101,000 a year. I say, let's close down the Department of Education building. Let's leave those dollars here in Georgia and have a world-class education system and pay our teachers more. And while we're at it, let's close down the EPA also. As your U.S. Senator, I'll continue to cut the size and scope of government and put the money where it should be. I want to take the money out of the hands of politicians in Washington and put it back in your pocket. And that's exactly what I'll do. I'm the father of 3, the grandfather of 2, and the husband of my wife, Nikki Broun, who's, for the last 28 years, she's somewhere around here. I'm fighting for, there she is back there. I'm fighting for their freedom. I'm fighting for your children and your grandchildren's freedom. If we don't stop this out-of-control government, our kids are going to live at a lower standard. With your vote, with your help, with your support, we can put this country back on the right track. And we will continue to have a strong America. Let's fight for freedom and liberty. Vote Paul Broun for the U.S. Senate. Thank you.